I just have one question. A couple weeks ago, there was audio release of Michael Lerner, SEIU operative, talking about efforts to generate another financial crisis in May. Is there any discussion about that in Congress, on Capitol Hill? Is anyone taking that seriously? Is anyone taking that into consideration, or is no one talking about it?
You know, that's a good question. I haven't heard a lot of discussion about it in Congress. You know, when it came out, I think Congress was in, I think everybody was back in their home states when that came out. And I have not heard much discussion of it since we got back. That doesn't mean that it...
I mean, isn't that domestic terrorism to try and form a financial crisis?
I think part of it is, anytime I get asked about, you know, conspiracies to overthrow this or that or topple the U.S. economy, I think to the fact that sometimes it's easier to stay focused on the enemies we know, on the plans that are bad, that are out there in the open, that we can prove.
Well,
and
I would just like, I've heard the tape, and he said unequivocally that was their intention, to put something together and to generate a second financial crisis that is supposed to push us over the edge once and for all. And I'm speaking purely for myself at this moment, which I hope nobody minds because it's at the end. But in my mind, I feel like if these people are successful doing something that no one's really discussing, all the other stuff that we talk about really becomes pointless. And again, that's my opinion. And so I just thought I'd take an opportunity to ask that.
yeah, no, it's a great question. And of course, you know, you're right. Yeah, he was recorded saying this, and there's no question he said it. I guess I refer to this as sort of in the category of obscurity, I guess because a lot of us are doubtful as to whether he could actually pull off such a thing. I mean, it's a pretty maniacally fantastic sort of aspiration that he has. I'm somewhat doubtful that he could pull it off, but who knows? Maybe we should be more concerned about it.
As a former ACORN member, I have to disagree with you on that one. There are documents that I'm hoping Boehner will eventually subpoena, if you want to send that message back to him, dating from ACORN dating back to 2006, where they saw the beginnings of the housing crisis happening in 2006. And their exact words were, we want to be there when that bubble bursts. And what did they do? They went from pushing bad loans to getting money from Bank of America to refinance these foreclosures. They helped push us over the edge in 2006, 2008, and then they benefited from the financial crisis once it happened. This is on record, but we don't have people that are willing to come out there and investigate.
How did they benefit from it?
Because what happens is when you have Bank of America right now that's been a partner with ACORN since 1992, they were the ones that were doing these no-doc loans where they were getting money under the table or counting food stamps as incomes to give people these mortgages. Once the mortgages started going bad, ACORN had its friends dump all the mortgages on their competitors. So you had Herb and Marion Sandler out of California who dumped all theirs on Wachovia right before Wachovia went under. You had Countrywide, you had what's the other one, Wells Fargo. So all of Bank of America's competitors started going under, and this allowed them to go in and buy some of these companies up while they were struggling. At the same time, they were giving ACORN kickbacks on every one of those loans that had to be refinanced at a higher rate. They're still doing the adjustment rate mortgages. It just, they haven't come due yet for these new crop of people that are not going to be able to afford it, but refinanced back in 08 and 09. So this is what they've been doing for years, financial instability, and just what he was talking about, but we don't have people taking it seriously. The best way that we can do this is that it's all the same actors and players. So if we had someone like ISIS committee that was really willing to prosecute this, there are over 55,000 documents of evidence that exist against ACORN and its operators that could be turned over, and that would stop some of the things that are going on now, because if you go after the people, you don't have to worry about the organizations because they're all the same.
Good to know.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
And Senator, you were here earlier when Anita spoke. Yeah. Anita's the ACORN whistleblower that first brought it to, she was working in ACORN and first brought it to attention that, you know, how the funds were moving through ACORN. So
Well, that's wonderful.
She's been through, she's one of the first ones.
If you want to get that message back to ICE, just tell them I'm waiting on the subpoena. We already got everything ready to turn over to us.
Great. Well, I'm in the wrong house for that, but I have to talk to my house friends about that. Well, thank you so much for letting me come and talk to you, and thanks for all that you did.